Hey, welcome back. It's Dr. Tabby Cat. I kept getting nudges all night in my old poem that I wrote back in like the 7th grade to read and to do a reading today that's trigger warning but shadow work on suicide, grief, and loss. And the one reason why, after I got my PhD, I chose shadow work and the dark night of the soul to focus my career on with helping people go through that is because, number one, that is the hardest and the worst part of the entire healing process, and that also is the first part of the healing process. So, honestly, if you can make it through the dark night of the soul, then everything else is a piece of cake. And I know I've mentioned it before, like when I was going through my dark night of the soul, I literally did not work during that time. I took off for 3 months. I literally did a 80-day fasting during that time. So I did not eat anything at all. I just had water. I listened to my Bible, and I also listened to my worship music, and I prayed every day. I meditated just about the entire day, outside and inside the house. And I remember sitting under I had two big ancient old oak trees in my front yard of the house. And I literally would just meditate all day underneath those oak trees. And I think that's what helped me, because I literally isolated myself away from everyone. It made it easier for me to rid myself of all people in my life, people, friends, family, co-workers, places, toxicities, anything that needed to be getting rid of. That's exactly what I did. And by me fasting also, that allowed my body to detox more quickly, and it kind of alleviated a lot of the pains and angst that you go through with the dark night of the soul. Because I would never lie to anybody, the dark night of the soul put you through the worst hell that you will ever go through. And yet and yes, you will feel like you want to die. You will feel like you're never going to get through, because you don't know when the end of it is coming. You don't know when you'll ever see the light of day again, the light at the end of the tunnel. You know, and everybody's different, so it just depends on how much trauma that you've actually pushed down, far down into yourself and into your soul and your heart, and how many wounds you've actually covered up throughout the years that you need to actually open up and face. And the thing is with the dark night of the soul, you're not just facing things one by one. The dark night of the soul actually throws everything at you all at once like a parachute, and kind of just drops it all on you, and it's like, here you go. Welcome. It's the dark night of the soul. It's kind of like the devil being like, all right, here you go. Have fun. You know, call me when you're having issues. And then you're just kind of left there with no instructions on what to do and no help. And in the midst of that, you're also going through a spiritual awakening. And for me, you know, I already had spiritual gifts since I was a child, but you go through many spiritual awakenings through your life. And, you know, some are good, some are bad. This one, later in life, that I had recently before moving here to Texas was the worst one of all. And it literally turned my entire life upside down. I literally had, let's see, before going through the dark night of the soul this time, I probably had like 5,000 friends on contact, on call roll at any time of the day or night. I could call, meet up with, we'd go do something every day and night of the week. There was always something to do. My money flow was constantly on roll. Made plenty of money, never in lack for anything. Had a nice house, car. I still have my cars, but you know, my kids were never in need of anything. And then the minute that I decided to go, and for some reason I decided I wanted to up my spiritual journey. I don't know why, because I was fine with the gifts I had. I was fine with using my gifts the way that I was. But for some reason, you know, we get greedy and we want more and more, as always, being humans. So I wanted to heighten everything. I wanted to go higher and higher. So, of course, that's what I wanted to manifest, and me being a master manifester, little did I know that manifested pretty quickly. And guess what? In order to manifest stuff, in case you guys don't know this, you have to go through a dark night of the soul, because in order to get to something new, you have to clear out all the old. So that means you need to go through a dark night of the soul again, clear everything out, all the old, and get ready for the new. So this one, because I wanted to be greedy and I wanted to ask for such a high, large, great amount of this time, and be on the top, well, let's just say life decided to put me through the worst dark night of the soul ever. And when I say I had the greatest awakening ever, I truly did. I literally went to bed happy, go lucky, had the best night, or the best life, all the friends in the world you could think of. Woke up the next day, everybody was an enemy. Everybody at work was fighting with me. All my friends, you know, had issues. I mean, it was just like, I have no idea. It was like waking up in a dream, you know, not knowing what the heck was going on. And I think I was in a delusion for like 2 weeks trying to figure out what the heck was going on. Like, what did I do? Why is everybody upset with me? I was arguing with every single person, like literally. And then finally, I had, you know, was meditating and I got a message, and the straight up message was, "You asked for this, didn't you?" And sure enough, I sure did. So, needless to say, since that day, despite all the fighting, it actually was good for me that I saw and witnessed all that, because out of all those 5,000 friends, they literally were just around me because of the things that I could do for them. And I used to throw a lot of parties in Jersey. Like the one day for my birthday, I love the Great Gatsby. And so I rented out the museum, the Mutter Museum, which is my favorite museum in Philly. And I did the Great Gatsby Halloween theme, because my birthday is in October. And through this huge all-out event. I mean, it was catered, had DJ, dancing, chauffeured, everything, drivers, the whole shebang, and like everything was taken care of. So like those were the type of events that we used to throw in Jersey. So the thing is when I went through the dark night of the soul and I started losing things, because when you go through the dark night of the soul, God needs to humble you, because for one, he wants you to see who's actually there for you and not for your money, not for your cars, not for the things you have, and not for the things you can do for people, whether it's family, friends, co-workers, whoever. So for me, he wanted me to see who was actually going to help me. So the only way he could do that was to put my money on hold. Because remember, he's never going to have you in lack. He's just going to put your money on hold to where you can't get to it for the moment, so that he can prove to you what's going on around you with the people you are hanging around and putting yourself around, including family. Okay, so he, for one, wanted to start with me with family and friends, because I was going out all the time. So what he did was, first there was an altercation within my home with, I had been nice and I had moved my father in with me, who needed my help because he did not have a place to stay. I did not grow up with my father, but I've always been a daddy's girl, and I felt bad for him. You know, I never want anybody to not have a place to stay, you know, or food to eat or anything. So I allowed him to come and live with me. I paid for everything. I never asked him to work or anything else. I paid for groceries. I remember paying almost $300 a week in groceries. And then, you know, in Jersey, the bills are high. So my bills were through the roof. But I never complained. I always had plenty of money to do it. So he had met this female who was one of those 90-day fiance type of deals. She had come to Jersey. Number one, she thought the house was his. She got a rude awakening that no, the house and everything in the house, 1 o'clock, the car, everything else was mine. She was not happy about that, because she wanted all of that. And so she was very scandalous. We did not see eye to eye. She did lots of horrible things toward me. I could not really speak to my father about it because he stuck up for her. And, you know, he was blinded by love, I guess, or whatever you want to say. So she had even put Nair, the hair removal chemical, in my shampoo. Yes, and my hair did fall out in parts. So I got a chemical burn on my scalp. And so she had got a great idea for him to go to the law enforcement and make up a story that was threatening him, and basically he was scared to death of me, that I was gonna commit domestic violence on him. Okay, at the time I was fasting for like 80 days, so I was literally like 90 pounds. Even before I was fasting, I worked out like 7 days a week for like 3 hours a day at the gym. So I was still only, working out, I weighed probably 115. And then when I was fasting, I got down to like 90 something pounds because I lost quite a bit of weight. And so him He was in and out of prison his whole life. And he was very muscular, very big. And so in Jersey, they have a law that no matter what the charge is if they are a senior of age, that it doesn't really have to be investigated, that they will just, do the charge. So because of his age and he's considered a senior, I had to leave my home, which is my house with my kids in it, and let him stay there with his girlfriend, which it was not his home or hers. And then, so I had to sleep in my car for a month until the court hearing. And then I let my son stay at his friend's house. His mom let him stay there for the time being. It was right up the street from the school. And then, so while I stayed in my car, but see, this is how good God is, because each and every day, I was fasting, so I didn't really have to worry about food. I had water every day, bottles of water. I had gas every day. People coming to me and giving me gas money. I had all of my bills paid. Literally, not one of my bills were missed at all. Not one. And I wasn't even in the house staying. And then, what else? Let's see. I had places to take a shower. What else? And basically, through the day, I would sit at the park and at the water and meditate and listen to music. So it really wasn't that bad. It was warm outside. And then at night, I would sleep in my car at the gas station because that was the safest place. And so, and then by the time the court hearing came, my father had dismissed it because he knew it was a stupid charge because it was false. And so I was able to come back home, and then immediately after I came back home, I had moved to Texas. So that was the family part. Now the friends. Okay, so while all that was going on and me being in my car, God wanted me to go down my entire list one day when I was sitting at the park by the lake. And even though I had everything I needed, I didn't need anything, but he said, go down your list of contacts and act like you need some money for something to eat. Even though I was not eating or anything, I was fasting, so I was fine. But he said, ask each person for $20 to say you need something to eat for yourself and your child, or at least your child to get something to eat. And so I did exactly what I was told. I went down the entire list of almost 5,000 contacts. And literally, out of all those contacts, probably only 10 of those people gave money to get something to eat, provide shelter, or anything else that was needed. So right away, that same day, I deleted every single person except those 10 contacts in my phone. Literally, like that was all I needed to hear. So I was actually thankful for doing that little assignment, because that's actually, honestly, I wish I would have heard that like years ago, because I wouldn't have thrown all those parties and invited all those people, so I would have gotten new friends. So you go through things in life because there are lessons you need to learn, and it's about the people around you. And so if you have people that are going out of your life right now, it's for a reason. Just let them go. All right. So I'm going to start with a poem. Like I said, it's a poem that I wrote back in the 7th grade. And it is a trigger warning. I did try to commit suicide back in the 7th grade. I think it was the 6th or 7th grade. I can't remember. But, of course, it did not go through. God said it was not my time. He's not going to allow that. And so, but I did write a poem. So, if anything is a trigger warning today, just know that those are things that you need to heal, and just heal those. All right. I did not give a name to it, so here it goes. Comfortably numb is when the cuts are deeper than usual. The blood is thicker and running wildly down my wrist, and I no longer can feel the stinging of my skin opening wide. Comfortably numb is when the little ounce of desire to continue fades away. The sorrows, pain, torment, screams all now have begun to quiet and linger further away. I see others who have gotten through this and lived to see the sunshine again. I, for a second, pondered what I would do or change or who I would be if that happened to be me. No longer do I ponder, but wonder how long am I going to lie here before it's over, and who actually cares to touch me in my laden-filled bed of blood and forgive me one last time. We are all given what we can handle, so why am I given this much? Why have I been given a life full of grief, and pain while others are happy and dealing? Sorry. Okay. Well, this is my last goodbye. Please forgive me for being weak and unable and not being able to make it past this dark night of the soul deep feeling. Thank you. All right. So, as you see, it's still, even after all these years, sensitive. It's not because you're not healed, it's just sensitive. So I also got 3 poems from my son that also is good for today. All right, this first one is called The Mind Cabin. All right, sadness is a man. He is tired and almost falls apart. As he takes you to a cabin in the forest heart, he sets you down and quiets you with a hush, then sobs as he tells you to clean with a simple toothbrush. You take the brush with a sense of pride, and you start scrubbing both far and wide. This man tries to talk, but you choose to ignore, in favor of scrubbing that disgusting floor. The blinds are closed, the door is locked, the windows are boarded, completely blocked. But you don't care, you keep on cleaning. The counters, the walls, even the ceiling. Anger is a woman. She is beautiful, elegant, and fair, but she makes you work without a care. She watches as your hands and feet bleed, but all she will say to you is proceed. Her patience whittles as candlesticks burn, and her voice goes hoarse from telling you to just learn. She throws you to the basement and locks the door and you can do nothing except ask why as you cry on the floor. She says that you can't come out until you have learned your lesson, and it is your fault to have earned her aggression. She growls that she will let you out when you are more deserving, but only dark fills the cracks of hopeless yearning. Depression as a child, when all is lost and your mind is thinning. A child reach out, beautiful and grinning. They lead you up the stairs to the front door, and they let you leave, telling you to explore. You touch the grass, you smell the air. You start loving life without a care. You remain in the forest, the child still watching you, but you continue on not having a clue. You begin having fun, you feel giddy in nature's arms where you are pretty, but as soon as you crack a smile, the man comes back to take you for a while. Depression is you. The cycle repeats, but something is missing. You can feel it as you trip outside becomes hopeful wishing. You can feel it as you spend more time in the basement, and you can feel it as you continue to scrub at your encasement. But as you walk through the cabin, you finally realize there is no one watching you with sad, disgusted, or hopeful eyes. The windows are not boarded, no doors are not locked. There is no man, woman, or child keeping you blocked. You open the door, footsteps crunching on the forest floor, and you decide to leave the cabin far behind, where your hope it will stay buried in the back of your mind. Okay. So that was that one. That's actually a really good one. I like that one. All right, and this one's called I Am Still Standing. I am still standing, staring at a phone. I am still standing, fearing the unknown. I am still standing where you once were. I am still standing where we lost you in October. I am still standing with it all. I'm still standing even though it felt like I have hit a brick wall. I'm still standing wondering how. I'm still standing in that crowd. I'm still standing hearing all the cries. I'm still standing wondering why. I am still standing with peace. I am still standing with my heart in pieces. I am still standing because you loved me so. I'm still standing because you made that known. I'm still standing because my family has grown. I'm still standing because there's always somewhere to go. I'm still standing knowing I am not alone. I'm still standing knowing you are home. I'm still standing trying my best. I'm still standing knowing he has the rest. I'm still standing, I am still standing, I am still standing here. And then one more. All right, this one is called The Boring Poem. All right. This poem is going to be boring. There won't be 1 second that will excite you, but that's the point, isn't it? We overvalue having something, and so we sweep discontentment into the dresser, dressing ourselves to wear it wherever we go. And then it gets stuck, and you're sitting at the dinner table, surrounded by family, the ones who keep you living, yet your eyes long for glimpses of light to fill the gaps. Contentment becomes an addiction. The boredom gets far too tight. To fill the little gap with which you started, you start to struggle breathing without all the constant heaving, but you never quite give it up until one day you're standing in line, suffocating at the seams of your need for entertainment, and start reaching for the whiskey to soften the seams. You'll wish you breathed better, and slowly you'll start taking the time to listen to this poem. You need to be bored, truly, horribly, deeply, painstakingly bored. You need to search and strive and struggle for the hint of satisfaction, and you need to fail to tip the hat of activity off and fill the line of sight with nothing of value. And then the mirror won't be so foggy anymore, and maybe, if the gaze you take is long enough, you'll see something in the back you'll actually care for. Every brain is a city, and it is our nothingness that builds the highways we use to reach each other. This is how we make lives worthy of living, in moments of silence when you can embrace the pause, be bored, and begin to breathe. All right. I like that one too, because a lot of people now, with all the technology, they literally go crazy by sitting in silence and sitting still. They can't do it. So, yeah. All right, so I got some more of my new decks that we're going to use for today. And let's see, I got the zodiac signs. I finally got my my counseling cards, because I've been working to get all of those, and it's called the schema therapy cards, and it helps with what you need to heal. And I got the shadow work cards. I finally got my divine masculine cards. I'm getting more of those in, and I got my angel cards. Kingdom of Heaven. That's the tarot cards we're going to use today. All right, so I got the pre-spread out already. So a lot came out for the zodiacs, so I just went with it and kept it. All right, so for the zodiacs, we got Scorpio. So the Scorpion, October 23rd to November 21st. Libra, September 23rd to October 22nd. Aries, March 21st to April 19th. And it says bold, impulsive, ambitious, fury, impatient, determined, innocent, motivated, honest, and passionate. Pisces, the Fishes, February 19th to March 20th. Taurus, the Bull, April 20th to May 20th. Virgo, August 23rd to September 22nd. Consciousness, perfectionist, detailed, helpful, poised, reliable, kind, observant, practical, independent. And the last one is Capricorn, the Goat, December 22nd to January 19th. Okay? So, for Capricorn, we have... for the shadow work card, we got people pleaser, approval seeking, self-abandonment, and smiling mask. So Capricorn, you're dealing with people pleasing, abandonment issues, seeking approval from others. You have to work on that. And then for the divine masculine card, you got Krishna, who I like to work with. So we will read just a little bit from Krishna's and see what there is to learn from him. Krishna, Krishna. And honestly, there's a chant that I do every day with Krishna. For me, it helps raise my vibration in the morning, so I like to do it. I have my own little rituals that I do every day. It just helps keep me on track, that no matter what happens. That's why I stay so calm and everything. Okay, so Krishna. Instead of explaining away your feelings, permit yourself to find emotional release. You are valid. A spotlight on emotional intelligence and skill will bring you harmony and grace. All right. And Krishna is a Hindu supreme god recognized as the 8th embodiment of Vishnu, the preserver of the universe. He's associated with compassion, divine beauty, joy, and love. So he deals with all emotional intelligence. So in your journals, you want to write I feel, and then write whatever comes to mind with that. And you can put his name next to it too, Krishna. And then once you start embodying the emotions and practicing with processing them and becoming comfortable with them, then you're able to physically feel through them. Okay. All right. Next one, Virgo. Virgo got 2 cards. Virgo, you got performer, image management, validation, addiction, and emotional split. And your shadow holds power, integration, depth, and alchemy. You need to alchemize your shadow into something positive. You need to learn to work with your shadow side. You're an alchemist. All right, and then you got for Sir New Nose for the Divine Masculine. So let's see what Sir New Nose has to say. Sir New Nose. All right, Sir New Nose says, tap into your wild nature and relish in your freedom. Time in a relationship and time alone both have pros and cons. Ensure you maximize your time alone when you have it. All right. He is referred to the Horned One. He is an ancient Gaelic and later Celtic deity worshipped for his kinship with nature and animals. With deer horns growing out of his head, he was part man and part stag, making him a mediator between man and nature. So rekindle your innate wilderness or wildness and sense of freedom that's within you. Stability and freedom. Lord of the wild things. You're not meant to be caged. All right, Taurus. You got 2 cards as well. You got fear of intimacy, vulnerability, exposure, fear of connection. So you're fear to get close to anybody. And then you got repeating cycles, unconscious loops, familiar pain, and pattern addictions. So you keep repeating karmic cycles. You need to get out of that. All right, and then you got Obatala, one of my deities. He's good to work with too. All right, let's see what he has to say for you guys. All right, his message is, extend kindness and understanding to yourself and others. The path of humanity is not an easy undertaking. See through the pain and apply the salve of love. All right, and for those that don't know, he's a Yoruba pantheon of West Africa. And you guys know I have a lineage with Yoruba, so I work with all of those Orishas. And his name means the king who wears white cloth and the god of purity. And he is also he who is divine authority. And he is also the symbol of the dove, peace, jasmine flowers, and the white crown. So his message is, kindness requires immense strength, wisdom, intelligence, and skill. The strength to respond instead of react, the wisdom to have emotional maturity, The intelligence to know why people are the way they are, and the skill to combine these forces. Kindness is a decision to intentionally put these elements into practice in the face of adversity. And he says, ask yourself, if that was my best friend, how would I have spoken to them in the same situations? How would you want a friend to speak to you at that moment? Then put that positive self-talk into practice, even if it feels silly or forced. And that's talking to yourself. All right. And then we have Pisces. All right, Pisces got one card that says lonely child, isolation, inner void, and emotional hunger. And as you see, he has a hole through where his heart should be. You definitely need to feel voids wherever there is one with something positive. And then as for your card, you got cash in. Let's see what he has to say. Cash in. All right. Cash in. Work on your lack mentality to increase the flow of abundance. A feeling of security is awaiting you. Your relationship with money will be aligned with bountiful receptivity. Okay. He is a Chinese folk hero who later became revered as a Taoist god of prosperity and wealth. Kashin descends from heaven to bring abundance to the people who worship him. It is tradition on the Lunar New Year to light incense and eat dumplings as an offering to him. On the second day, he ascends to heaven after providing blessings for the upcoming year. His message is, confront your fears concerning money to assist in stepping into a state of abundance. Check in with yourself and ask questions about why you have these concerns. Is it to do with the way you were brought up? What comments come to mind when thinking about money? These can be a clue as to why. Now that's a good thing, because even when I was in my car that entire time, and like I said, all my bills were paid, not once did I ever worry about my bills or things getting paid, because I always had faith in God that things were going to be taken care of. If you are the type of person that you're always worrying about money and where the money's going to come from and how things are going to get paid, that's why you're having money issues, because until you learn that you're never in lack and you get out of that mindset and you always tell yourself, I'm never in lack, I have enough, I am abundant, then that's when things will start to change. All right. So next is Aries. Okay, Aries, you got 3 of them. All right, it says shamed for being you, humiliation, inner critic, identity suppression. So you are afraid of being humiliated for being your authentic true self. Sacred boundaries, respect, energetic protection, and self-honoring. You need to put up protected boundaries like that circle. That's what I do before every reading. And before I go out in public, I do the same thing. Texting storm, panic over attachment, abandonment alarms. So you have abandonment issues that you need to work on. All right. And then you got Aries. So let's see what he has to say. Aries. All right. A hardened heart has served a purpose in protecting you. It is time to relinquish the hold of darkness and step back into flow. All right, he is one of the 12 Olympians, the major ancient Hellenic gods. Ares is the god of war, also known as the spirit of battle. Although his parents, Zeus and Hera, were two of the most renowned Olympians, Ares was not considered as well loved or respected. All right, his message. Part of the divine masculine's heart went to war and has not yet returned. Traumas and behaviors patterns that developed collectively can claw in so severely that they become the new norm for generations to come. Our inner masculine has become exceedingly adept at hardening the hearts due to the archetype of the soldier and the stigma surrounding crying and exhibiting softer emotions. This energy presents a battle wound with a layer of calcification over the top. It is a facade, a tough exterior protecting a wounded interior. It can feel like a braver choice to be stoic, but it inevitably leads to a hollowness, numbness, and pain. So basically, it's okay to purge, which is cry. There's nothing wrong with crying. Now, like I say to even the feminines, you can cry, but don't get stuck into that mindset. You want to cry, purge, get it out and over with, and then be done with it. You don't want to stay stuck in the crying stage. So if you need to purge and cry, go ahead and do that. Get it over with, and then say, thank you, universe, for allowing me to purge and get this out. I feel so much better now. Thank you. And do it. There's nothing wrong with it. You're not a sissy. You're not gay. You're not anything else for doing that. So whoever has said that in your life, that's not true. All right, Libra is next. Libra, you got numb one, disconnection, emotional freeze, and avoidant coping. So you freeze up and you avoid things when it comes to dealing with things you need to heal and face. All right, and you got Thor. Thor's my favorite too. I like his hammer. All right, Thor. All right. I like his tattoos too. Instead of dwelling on your dreams, dive into deliberate, actionable steps to bring them into fruition. You know what needs to be done. It says in Norse lore, Thor is the god of thunder and war and associated with agriculture, the weather, and the sky. His parents are Odin, the chief of the Norse god, and Jord, the personification of the earth. He is celebrated for his strength, courage, loyalty, and honor. And he married the goddess of harvest. And he possesses the divine hammer. All right, his message. Inspired action is different from action that is not based on conscious intention. It combines the heart and mind as allies working toward one goal. Inspired action requires thinking outside of the box and kicking down old paradigms. Inspired action is well thought out and planned with intention instead of stumbling along like Thor, acting from a primal instinctual basis with no consideration of destination. This can be scary, although it beats living a life deemed worthy to others yet bland to yourself. If you're waiting for the right time to strike, you may end up twiddling your thumbs forever. You are ready now. You don't need the whole plan. Strike now. Lift your metaphorical hammer and hit your desired target. Take an action step will light you up like an electric bolt of lightning, firing you up, ready for more. All right, and the last one is Scorpio. All right, you got 3 of them. You got invisible one, shrinking, hiding, fear of being seen. And then you got need to be right, control, argument loop, fear of losing. So you always need to be right. And then parental control, overpowering authority, conditional approval, and rebellion free. So you have narcissistic parents that are always needing to be in control of your life, even if you are an adult. And then you got Yimcax. So let's see what this one is. All right. All right, your mind, body, and spirit would benefit from a cleansing, grounding, and protection process. Implement a regimen to provide clarity in an environment conducive to thriving. So just like I said, when you're going through the dark night of the soul, you really should be isolated to the point where you can cleanse and ground your mind, body, and soul and spirit without being affected by anybody around you or anything. In the Maya pantheon, Yimcax is the son of 2 of the most influential deities, Ixchel and Itzamna. Emulating his parents, he came to be the god of nature, the guardian of the jungle. He oversees wild vegetation and wild animals. He later became honored by farmers as the god of agriculture, protecting crops from the wild animals and jungle. One of his principal roles was staving off drought and hunger by protecting the crops. This was done with the help of the rain god. Okay, his message is, being a sensitive individual in a harsh world, meaning an empath, can take a toll. Your sensitivity is a beautiful gift. Although it sometimes feels like a curse, cleansing, grounding, and protecting are the trifecta to build a solid, energetic foundation. Challenges thrown your way are easier to withstand with a clear mind and grounded energy. Decisions become easier, emotional regulation simpler, and solutions to problems emerge quicker. Cleansing shifts energetic debris clinging to you, some from within, some absorbed from others. Use spiritual tools such as sound bowls, black tourmaline, ethically sourced sage, and essential oils. And remember, because you're a water sign, so you're more emotional than other signs. So it's okay to be emotional. All right. So those were all good. Okay, so I'm gonna get some of these out. Okay, give me some, or actually, you know what? I'll do that after. Let me go ahead and do our spread. So we're gonna do our spread with the Angel of Heaven cards, Kingdom of Heaven. All right, so this is a 7-card spread. It's gonna be what I need to face, what I need to forgive, what I need to release, what I need to embrace, what I need to learn, where I need to seek healing, and then our final messages. All right. All right. So 7-card spread for our shadow work, grief and loss. 7-card spread, grief and loss. What I need to face, what I need to forgive, what I need to release, what I need to embrace, what I need to learn, where I need healing, and then the last message of healing. So what do the masculines need to face? Number 1, what is it that they need to face in their shadow work, healing process, dark night of the soul. What do they need to face? I'm not going all that. What do they need to face in their dark night of the soul, the masculines? Okay. Number 2. What do you guys need to forgive? What do the masculines need to forgive? What do the masculines need to forgive in the dark night of the soul? And healing, what do they need to forgive? The masculines, what do they need to forgive? Dark night of the soul, grief and loss. What do they need to forgive? What do they need to forgive? These cards are beautiful. I love the angels on them. The detail is perfect. What do the masculines need to forgive for grief and loss, shadow work, dark night of the soul? What do they need to forgive? Okay. All right. What do you need to release? What do the masculines need to release? Dark night of the soul, grief and loss, healing. What do the masculines need to release? Dark night of the soul, grief and loss. What do they need to release? Dark night of the soul, grief and loss. What do they need to release? Dark night of the soul. What do they need to release? Dark night of the soul, grief and loss, healing. What do they need to release? Okay. And what do you need to embrace? What do the masculines need to embrace? Dark night of the soul, grief and loss, shadow work, healing. What do the masculines need to embrace? Okay, 4. All right, now, what do the masculines need to learn? Dark night of the soul, grief and loss. What do the masculines need to learn? Shadow work, dark night of the soul, grief and loss. What do the masculines need to learn? Dark night of the soul, grief and loss. What do the masculines need to learn? Dark night of the soul, grief and loss. All right. And where to seek healing? Where do the masculines need to seek healing? Dark night of the soul, grief and loss, shadow work. Where do the masculines need to seek healing? Dark night of the soul, grief and loss. Where do they need to seek healing? Dark night of the soul, grief and loss. All right, and then the last one. Okay, and then give us a message, overall message for the masculines for their grief and loss message, dark night of the soul. Overall message for dark night of the soul, grief and loss message for the masculines. All right. Oh. Wow. All right. These go in the middle. All right. I'm going to pull these out. Oh, here, I'll keep them like this. All right, so, and we'll get clarifiers. Okay, so we have, so the first one was masculines. What do you need to face for your dark night of the soul, grief and loss, healing process? What do you need to face? And basically it is the 10 of Wands, which is, you know, burdens. And I like, though, in this picture, I'm going to show you, the angel is not, he's hunched over a little, but I mean, his wings outweigh and outsize the size of the wands, the burdens. So let me see. Okay, so in this picture, his wings actually weigh and are a lot bigger than the burdens he's carrying on his back. He is hunched over a little as he's walking, and he does look sweaty and tired, but you know, and the road is narrow as he's walking. So the things you need to face head on are your burdens. You might be taking on too much. You know, there's an uphill struggle. You might be lacking fun and spontaneity right now. But just know that it's not going to be this way forever. It's just for right now as you go through your healing. Once this healing is done and you're almost to the end of that road right there, and all these burdens are going to drop, and then you're going to come back into your finances. You're not going to have to, you know, struggle as much. All right, number 2, what do you need to forgive? Okay. What do you need to forgive? This one, I think a lot of, not just masculines, a lot of people in general deal with is the mommy and daddy wound. So this is the mother wound, and it's the Queen of Cups, and she very beautiful, motherly. She's got one toe into the ocean. She's holding her big cup of love. It's a clear day, no storms ahead, and she's sitting in her shell of a seat, and she's looking over to the side of the waves of the ocean, you know, kind of just minding her business. But, you know, she is a mother figure, and at times this can be a narcissist. So, not always are they nurturing, not always are they sensitive to someone who is empath. Now, usually the Queen of Cups is empathic herself. She's psychic, you know, she's caring, nurturing, intuitive, a daydreamer, a good listener. This is a female in your life. This is somebody you need to forgive, though. Whoever it may be, it could be a mother. It could just be a female who was in your life that you were close to, that cared for you. But whoever it is somebody that you need to forgive. So whoever that may be, that's a wound that you need to work on. Whether they're here alive or not here anymore, you still need to forgive them and release it. All right, and number 3, what do you need to release? All right. You need to release the Page of Cups, which is usually it's a message. It's an intuitive message. It's at times sorry, a time to say sorry to someone. So it can be happy news, it can be informative, it can be an invitation, a romantic proposal. It can be somebody that's younger than you, somebody young at heart. If there's somebody that you need to say sorry to, then you need to do this and release it and let it go. And if they're not here anymore, you can still say sorry to them and let the cup go and release the burdens. And don't hang on to that. You can't keep holding on to stuff. You got to release it. All right, number 4. What do I need to embrace? All right, what do you need to embrace? Beautiful Knight of Cups card. It's a knight in his shining armor, beautiful wing spread. It's a beautiful white horse. You got rose petals laying on the ground. All right. And this is what you need to embrace. So you need to embrace your romantic side, your charming side, and your artistic and imaginative side. You need to open your heart and take action. So you are in love with love itself, romantic proposals, attractions. All right. If you have somebody in mind, take action on it. Don't just keep it in your mind. Take the helmet off, open up the heart. You know, take the armor off of the heart. Let it go. Let's see. 1, 2. Did I just mess up? Oh, you know what? I think I just messed up. Hold on. 1, 2. Forgive what I need to release. Oh, you know what? I did mess up, but it's okay. Okay, what do I need to release? Number 3. Okay, sorry, I did mess up. You need to release the 2 of Wands, which is planning. Sorry. We'll get to the Knight of Cups in a minute. So this is what you need to release. You need to release trying to control everything. So this is planning. You need to stop trying to plan and control everything in your life. Some things just need to happen as they happen throughout the day. If things don't go right, then that's okay. But you need to just wake up, live life, and let them, let them be. There's always a choice between 2 paths, If you make a mistake on one path, then, okay, you made a mistake. Heal from it. Forgive yourself, and then go to the other path. See how that path is, Not everything is perfect. We're not perfect. We live and we learn. All right, but you can't control things, all right? So that's what you need to release. Now, what do I need to embrace? Okay, sorry. I was getting confused. There's too many cards out here. All right. All right, so the first one was, what do you need to face? And that is your burdens. All right. And then the second one was, what do you need to forgive? That's the Queen of Cups, a mother figure, a female figure in your life. That's what you need to forgive. Number 3, what do you need to release? And that is the 2 of Wands. You need to release control of trying to control everything in your life. Now the next one is, what do I need to embrace? All right. This is the Page of Swords, okay? The Page of Swords is you have plenty of ideas, you're always inspired, curious, and a great communicator, and a thirst for knowledge. All right, you can always make interesting discoveries. You're quick-witted and inquisitive, direct and truthful, and young at heart. Speaking out and engaging in passionate debates. Can't wait to share your message and ideas with others. That's what you need to embrace. You need to speak out. Open your throat chakra, heal your throat chakra, and speak. So stop spying and actually speak. That's actually what that card means. Stop doing the spying and then actually use the sword to speak, because it's supposed to be used to speak. Okay, now it's what do I need to learn? And what you need to learn is this, the Knight of Cups. You need to learn how to be on your romantic side, which is stop daydreaming about it and actually be in it. Be the romantic person you want to be and stop daydreaming about it. So this is number 5. What do you need to learn? Be romantic. That's what you need to learn. And then where do you need to seek healing? And that is the 7 of Swords, which he is an angel. He's got some of his swords on his back and some of his swords behind him just sitting on the ground, and a sword in his hand, and then he's looking over the edge like he wants to jump and like he's just tired of it. 7 of Swords talks about deception. So this is where to seek healing. So there might be deception around you, or someone is getting away with something, and now it's important to act strategically and to be resourceful. Have open and honest discussions and stay away from things that feel suspicious or too good to be true. But keep in mind that acting tactically can be an advantage to certain degrees sometimes. So just be careful of the people around you and where you seek healing. So just be cautious of who you're going to ask questions to, because not everybody has your best interest at hand. Yeah. All right. And then you got for your final message, you got the Ace of Pentacles, and did I do something? What did I do? I don't know. All right, the Ace of Pentacles. So that is a gift from God, along with the Page of Cups. That's going to be a message and a gift from God stating you're almost at the end of this road of burdens. Just keep going. You're almost there. After you get rid of all these deceptive people around you, after you heal all of your mommy and daddy wounds, after you release control of everything and surrender to the divine, after you start speaking out, speaking your truth, being authentic, after you going for what it is you need to go for, being head on with it, the divine will meet you at the end of the road and provide you with the things that you need. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the 3 of Swords. So that's after heartache, because definitely you will go through heartache, heartbreak, after working hard, of course. You will have nostalgia with someone from your past or a past life. You will get the Lovers, a divine love. You will have a new perspective on life because you see he's not hanging upside down. He's upright, looking into the heavens. The divine light is hanging on him. You will be able to manifest whatever it is in your heart that you want to manifest. It doesn't matter how big or small. You will have all the intuitive nudges that you need in order to move forward. A tower will fall, but you've already gone through the worst parts, which is the dark night of the soul. So the tower is not going to bother you because you're going to know how to handle it. You've already gone through the healing, so this part is just cleaning up the rest of your heart. And see, she's holding the cup of love. So that's the next part of your journey is love, unconditional love, moving to calmer waters. And you see the divine's guiding them. There's nobody rowing the boat but the divine. Speaking your truth and living in your truth, life's purpose. There's not going to be any more sleepless nights or worrying. You're going to have an abundance of earthly matters, pentacles. There's never going to be a worry of pentacles again. And you're going to have quick, stable foundation coming to you. You're going to become this emperor. You're going to be able to start your own traditions with your own family. And you will have an ending to this grieving because you have completed this grieving process. There will be equal give and take, reciprocity. You're planting new seeds in a new area with your new family, with this new beautiful cup of love from the divine. And you're going to expand your horizons and make it what you want. Definitely. These cards are beautiful. Yep. So yeah, that's it. It's beautiful. Let me see what this, clarify the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. Clarify the Queen of Cups. Wands. Okay, I clarified the Queen of Cups and it came up with the King of Wands and the Five of Swords. So it's basically conflict and fighting. And then the King of Wands is leadership. It's, you know, that fiery energy, somebody that wants to be in control. But, you know, even though it's not the Knight of Wands, somebody that's in and out, it could be somebody that a female figure was always fighting with, fighting for control over. Let's see. Yeah, she's facing them. Actually, she's looking away from them. They're facing her. Let me see. Because they're facing her. Because King of Wands, like, he can be narcissist as well. Most definitely. And like I said, the Five of Swords, that's conflict, that's fighting. That's defeat, competition, self-sabotage, overbearing. So a mother that's overbearing. Let me see. Okay, so this mother or female, whoever it is, she's probably very controlling over your finances and always fighting, even to this day, if she's living. She probably she's probably narcissistic and still tries to control your life with your finances and your relationships and who you're seeing, talking to, how you spend your money. Because you see they're both looking at her. She's looking away from them. Because, King of Wands, like, he's a leader. He's somebody in control. He's fiery. He takes action. But the Queen of Cups, she's more like laid back and intuitive, but she also knows how to, kind of play on somebody's emotions because she is the water sign. So, yeah. Let's see. Let's see. What's this Page of Swords? What do they need to speak about? What's this Page of Swords? What do they need to speak about? Page of Swords, clarify. Page of Swords is clarifying Three of Cups, so there may be a third party situation that needs to be spoken up about, or there may be three third parties that need to be spoken to. And in regards to walking away, ghosting, yeah, a sexual relationship situation. Okay. All right. What's the Seven of Swords? Who do they need to worry about with being deceitful? What's the Seven of Swords? Clarify. Clarify the Seven of Swords. Two of Swords. Under the Moon. Or Wands. And the Chariot. All right, we have Two of Swords for whoever is trying to deceive you. That could be a Cancer because we got the Moon and the Chariot card coming out, which are both Cancer cards. So that could be a water sign or a Cancer. And then we got the Four of Cups, which is also a water sign. So it could be a Cancer who is in your friend circle, family circle, that is deceiving you. Okay, what's this Knight of Cups situation? 222 on the timer. Knight of Cups situation that they need to work on. What's this Knight of Cups situation they need to work on? Okay, the Knight of Cups is the Four of Swords, which is meditate, rest. And then the King of Cups, which he's always in control of his emotions, but he knows that when he loves somebody, he's going to go after her, which is the Queen of Cups. So he has his huge cup of love right there, and it's highlighted with that light, that divine light, and he's ready to hand it over. He's not going to give it to anybody else except her, and he's guarding it because he's waiting for her to come right by him so he can be like, hey, here you go. So you got meditate, rest, become the King of Cups with that huge cup of love, and then the Nine of Pentacles. Be independent, successful, you know, on your own. Be able to do this so that you can be in this Knight of Cups, you know, romantic, open your heart type of person, you know, because that's what you need to work on, is being more in your heart space. And it will take strength, but you can do it. All right, and then let me see, what else was it? The Two of Wands. What was the Two of Wands for them of controlling? What was the Two of Wands? What do they need to work on controlling? The Two of Wands. All right, the Eight of Wands. Yes, controlling your actions. You can't, and we got the Wheel of Fortune, so you can't control fate, because justice will come to you in the way it's supposed to. Gotta have patience. All right, and then let's see the last one, which is the Ten of Wands. What's this burdens the Ten of Wands they have on their path? What's this burdens the Ten of Wands? Please clarify. What's this burdens the Ten of Wands? What's this burdens the Ten of Wands? What are these burdens the Ten of Wands they have on their path, the divine masculines? What are these burdens the Ten of Wands, please? Yeah, Five of Pentacles, money. But it's okay because you're getting over that. Okay, money and juggling love. You're gonna get both. You're gonna get a choice in love and money, and you're not gonna have to juggle. All right. So stop worrying about it. You're gonna get everything you want. No worries. All right. The last thing we're gonna do is my counseling cards for healing, and I'm actually gonna take a picture of this spread for this reading as well. All right, can I get some cards for the divine masculines for this grief and loss, shadow work night, dark night of the soul reading, please? Give me some divine masculine dark night of the soul healing cards for this read, please and thank you. Give me some cards for the dark night of the soul divine masculine read, please and thank you. And they're color coded for different healing points on your journey of what you need to work on. All right, more divine masculine healing cards for dark night of the soul. So far, we're getting 2 reds out here, which is the beginning point of the journey, but that's okay. Any more? Okay, I think that's it. Yep. All right, so let me try and put them together. The reds, purples, and orange. Okay, we'll do the reds first. Okay, reds. You got the punitive parent. You deserve to suffer. You are bad. And these are critical parents. Okay, the insight. This is the internalized voice of abuse or harsh punishment. It hates you and wants you to hurt when you make a mistake. Reflection prompt. Would you ever say these cruel things to a friend? Why do you say them to yourself? Healthy voice action. Stop. Visualize a stop sign. Say firmly, get out. You are not allowed to speak to me like that anymore. All right. The enraged child, the angry child. I want to destroy everything. If I can't have it, no one can. The insight. This is an intense, destructive rage. It often comes out when you feel trapped or controlled, leading to lashing out or self-sabotage. Reflection prompt. How does this rage try to protect you? Does it make you feel powerful? Healthy voice action. Channel your energy. Punch a pillow or run. Say, I can express power without destruction. All right, the critical parents. That's wrong. You look fat. You sounded stupid. The insight. This voice nitpicks everything you do. It kills creativity and confidence by highlighting only the negatives. Reflection prompt. What is the one thing you did right today that the voice is ignoring? Healthy voice action. Counter the critic with a fact. Actually, I did my best and that is enough. All right, vulnerable child. The abandoned child. Don't leave me here. I'm too small to survive on my own. The insight. You feel fragile and terrified of being left alone. The mode activates when you sense distance in a relationship, triggering a primal fear of loss. Reflection prompt. Where do you feel this smallness in your body right now? Chest, stomach, or throat? Healthy voice action. Visualize holding this child and say, I am here. I'm not going anywhere. You're safe with me. And these are all inner child healing stuff. So, all right, the trap schemas, the outsider trap, social isolation. I don't fit in anywhere. I'm fundamentally different from everyone else. The insight, the trap makes you feel like an alien. You focus on differences rather than similarities, keeping yourself on the fringes of social groups to avoid awkwardness. Reflection prompt. When you are in a group, do you actively look for reasons why you don't belong? What would happen if you looked for similarities instead? Healthy voice action. Challenge yourself to make eye contact and smile at one person today. Bridge the gap with a small connection. All right. The trap. Unworthiness trap. Defectiveness. If they knew the real me, they would be disgusted. Deep down, you feel flawed, bad, or unloved. You hide your true self to avoid rejection, but this prevents anyone from loving the real you. Reflection prompt. List 3 qualities you like in your best friend. Do you possess any of these qualities yourself? Healthy voice action. Look in the mirror, look past the flaws and say, I am human, imperfect, and completely worthy of love, just as I am. And the last one, the healthy adult actions. Asking for help. Independence is good. Interdependence is healthy. So once you get to this point, this means you've healed, and this is a good point to be. The insight. The healthy adult knows that we are social creatures. Asking for support is a sign of strength, not weakness. Reflection prompt. Who is the one safe person you can share a tiny piece of struggle with? Healthy voice action. Send a text to a friend. I'm having a tough day. Just wanted to say hi. All right, I like those cards. I've been waiting forever for these cards to come in, so I'm glad they came in. All right, I'm sorry to take so long on this video, but it was worth it. I hope you guys enjoyed the poems. I really love poems. I honestly could do 5 hours of poems all day, but Hopefully the message wasn't too triggering. Hopefully you got out what you needed to get out of it. Hopefully it was positive, and hopefully it helped you on your day. Like I said, I'm going to take a picture of this spread and put it out there. All right. So it's Sunday. The songs that I got for today was Tasha Cobb's Fill Me Up and William McDowell, I Gave Myself Away. What was the other one? Ay, ay, ay. Oh my gosh. It just left. Is it local something bound? It's a rock group. I think it's local and it's bound. I think that's what it is. Okay. So you can look those songs up, the lyrics, and read them and see if they have significance. All right. Have a blessed day. Stay prayed up, meditative. Stay meditating and protect your surroundings, your car, everything. Always ask your archangels to stay with you. And remember, your angels can't step in unless you tell them to. So let them know each day they can step in without you having to say so. Read something and listen to something positive each day. Remember, the music that you listen to depends on the frequency that you're going to be at for the daytime, the same as what you watch on TV. Stay away from all that news and all that crap. All right. Thank you. Bye.